This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview. Joining us today is Andrew Bell, the CEO of Redrock Resources. Andrew, thank you very much for joining us again. It wasn't long ago that we spoke last time, and you did say there would be a decent amount of news before Christmas, and here we are. You've got some news on Victoria, your project in Australia. Drilling has started. So, yes. And also you've had some grant of exploration licenses. So let's start with the exploration license then. What can you tell us about the one that's just been granted?
The exploration license just being granted is one that is adjacent to the first license we got, which is the one where we're drilling at the moment. It goes north from that. It goes up the east side of the Ballarat mine, and at its top, it actually has the ground to the northwest of Daylesford, which is some way to the north in the direction of Bendigo, and contains a number of old goldfields, including this one, the Yandoit goldfield, which has some interest.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about where this license sits then, this Yandoit area? What was that like for previous mining exploration for gold?
Yandoit was some old gold mines, small but very rich. And if you take the Pioneer Trend, therefore, the Pioneer Reef, we can't see that anyone has been exploring it actively since 1867. And so going back there with the kind of knowledge we have now and doing modern exploration over this area, we can reasonably hope to be able to find something. But, this is an area which back then in the 19th century didn't produce big gold fields, but who knows? I mean, it's not that far, for example, from Ajax, where we see such a lot of potential. But we've got more data there. So we're going to look at Yandoit, which is a long trend further up from Ajax. And then in the south of the new license, we've got just outside the license, but going up into it would be an extension. We've got a couple of historic gold fields, gold mines, one of which produced 700,000 ounces. So these are good targets too. I mean, we're not short of targets.
Okay. And do you also have some further licenses still pending?
Yeah, we do. The one to the east, a large area, we've got one granted there it's quite close to Melbourne. But on the western side of it, and the southern side, we had another license that fills out that there. We're waiting for that. There's one much further off to the northwest, near another mining area, where we are just going through the native title process. And I don't think that'll take too long. And then there's the one which covers the ground around Daylesford and the old Ajax mine, which is probably the nearest comparator we've got to Fosterville, and is very exciting for us. And because there are one or two built-up areas there, and there's a lot of sort of recreational activity and parks, we had a long to and fro with Earth Resources in Victoria to determine which bits it would be prudent for us to leave out from the application. But in the end, we found a design, as you might call it, which incorporates the areas that are key for exploration and doesn't incorporate the areas which would be most contentious. And so that has only been advertised quite recently. So that's a few months behind the rest. But, we've worked very productively with Earth Resources. We're obviously doing good work on the ground, and we're confident we'll get the remaining licenses before too long.
Okay, excellent. So this is the Maiden drilling campaign. How do you feel then that you're able to get the drills turning? It's been, as I understand, many, many months of research and planning has gone into this.
Yes, and of course, just everyone is booked up. For example, if you go to the laboratories in Perth, some of them have an 8-week queue to get samples tested. The drill rigs in Victoria, with lockdown having eased a bit, everyone's booked up. We managed to get this because it was someone known to Dave Holden, and he was breaking off to set up his own drilling company. And so as soon as he did that, we got them on site working for us. We were lucky to get them. And we're excited that this is a good team of drillers, and we're going to get results. But yes, we've been able to move very quickly from getting the licenses granted to having drill targets that we can actually drill and that we have a very good level of confidence in.
Okay. So what's the aim or the objective of this drilling campaign then?
Well, you're looking at an area that was mined in the 19th century, and clearly they didn't go very far because it was extremely expensive to excavate by hand, and you didn't go very deep because of the water tables. So and they didn't have the same tools of exploration available to them to identify faults and follow them along. And you can use modern geophysics and also the kind of geochemistry we can do, where, for example, we take many soil samples, or we test for arsenic, and arsenic has proved to be a good indicator mineral for gold in this Ballarat area. And they didn't know that in the 19th century. So we can trace the prospective areas along, we can do the geophysics, and then we check on the ground to see if what we've done is confirmed. And that gives us extensions along strike. And I think we've also got a lot of potential at depth. So what we're doing is we've put up some drill pads on this first target, and each drill pad you could run 2 or 3 holes off. And I think to start with, we're going to do 1 or 2 to the west, which will be dipping at 70% and towards the east, and then 1 or 2 to the east, which will be dipping at 70 degrees towards the west. And we'll see as we go along and as we analyze the core, whether we need to refine or change the drill program as we go along to get more information.
Indeed. Okay. So now that things have really started to happen in Australia, then how are you feeling about the prospects for Redrock Resources Australasia throughout next year?
Well, what's now called New Ballarat Gold Corporation. We're going to get that. Yeah, we're aiming for a listing, as you know. And I'm satisfied we've got a very good technical team on the ground. We've got a cohesive team that's been built up organically by Dave Holden there. And I make a joke sometimes that maybe lockdowns in Australia and the ban for travel actually benefited us because it made us do the right thing and concentrate on building a team that was sort of run from Australia and organically grew there. In fact, even just in the specific area of Victoria, and even within Victoria, the area around Ballarat. So we're kind of specialists in this area. We have our office in Ballarat, and we weren't tempted to interfere. Once a week, we have a Zoom call where everyone briefs, everyone else about what they've been doing, and we share screens, and we go through the prospects one by one and look at it. And I'm always on that. And Paul Johnson from Power Metal Resources, our colleagues there, is on, and our data manager from London is on. And at least one of the non-exec directors of New Ballarat Gold Corporation, who is now based in Queensland, where he's doing drilling with his own company, he's on and produces some very good input. And we move forward. But we're going to get some good results, I think, from this. And at the same time, at Redrock, of course, we're waiting for the results from our work in Congo, where the laboratory in South Africa is a bit snowed under at the moment. So we're probably not going to get what we want, the last set of results from there before the end of this week, could be later. And then in Kenya, the first 950 samples, that's the first half from our RC drilling program there, have gone down to Mwanza in Tanzania, to SGS there, who are doing the testing on that. And I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for those results, but that's probably not going to be too long, another sort of week or so. So over the next few weeks, we should be getting our results back from the drill programs in Kenya and in Congo. And within a couple of months, we'll start getting, maybe quicker, we'll start getting a flow of results through from our drilling in Australia. So it's going to be a very exciting time.
Okay. Well, Andrew Bell, the CEO of Redrock Resources, thank you very much, and I wish you happy holidays, happy Christmas and happy New Year, and look forward to catching up in 2022.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.